This is Echoes of the End Enhanced Edition, a massive free update built from your feedback, and it's packed with improvements and features that you've been asking for. We are Myrkur Games, a small game development studio in Reykjavik, Iceland. And this summer we released our first game, Echoes of the End, a fantasy action-adventure in the style of the old classics that we love. It was an ambitious project for such a small team, and now looking back on it with the benefit of hindsight and your feedback, there are things that we could have done better. But that is the secret advantage of being such a small team. When something doesn't land quite right, we can adapt quickly. That is why this enhanced edition exists. We're funding it ourselves because we want Echoes of the End to live up to the expectations we had for it. And it's only possible because of your feedback. Every part of this update comes from you. So let's go through what's new in Echoes of the End Enhanced Edition.
One of the big requests from players was more customization, more ways for you to make Rin feel like your version of the character. So for the Enhanced Edition, we've added a new gear system to the game. Now, there's 13 outfits to choose from, with 4 core designs, each with different texture variations. You unlock schematics for outfits, from bosses and chests, through doing certain things in the game, and then craft them using materials you find.
But customization isn't just about looks. Alongside these outfits, we're adding relics. You can slot relics into outfits to further enhance Rin's stats to fit your own playstyle.
So the relics are all noticeable modifications to your abilities. Combined with outfits, they give you new ways to make your own story and your own character, both in terms of how Rin looks and in how she fights.
And the best part is, all of this content is included for free with the Enhanced Edition update.
We've also reworked the opening of the game, giving Chapter 1 a facelift with a stronger initial hook, improved visuals, and streamlined tutorials that don't slow the action down as much as they used to. For that same reason, we've also gone through the entire game and trimmed a lot of the more menial interactions that players felt didn't serve much purpose. I'm sure that'll feel especially good on a second playthrough in New Game Plus, which is also coming with Enhanced Edition. You'll carry your unlocked abilities, outfits, and relics with you into an experience that is not only more difficult overall, but adds 8 brand new elite enemy types for you to face. It's a tough, fresh challenge for the player who isn't satisfied to win only once. Another thing we wanted to focus on was making sure the game offered the right experience for everyone. We've added a new difficulty setting called Journey, which sits between the story mode and what used to be called Balanced. The difference between those two was a bit too large, and some players had a hard time finding the right difficulty to suit them. We've also made our optional puzzle hints visually highlight relevant objects to make sure they properly serve their purpose of guiding players who want it, while staying out of the way for those who don't want any hints at all.
One of the biggest pieces of feedback we received was about how it felt to move around the world as Rin. You guys often described her movement as feeling floaty. Her steps didn't always match the distance she covered, and the jumps didn't look or feel quite right. It might sound small, but that sense of being part of the world really shapes how the whole game feels to play. For the Enhanced Edition, we've completely overhauled Rin's traversal animation to make her movement feel more natural and grounded. Her feet stay firmly planted, turns and pivots are sharper, running and sprinting feel snappier, and the jumping has been retimed to look more realistic. Even the climbing has seen a full animation rework. Overall, Rin now feels much more responsive. Her movement has more weight than before, and she's truly connected to the world.
When you step back into the game, the first thing you'll notice is how much better it feels to control Rin. We've retimed and polished nearly all of her animations, meaning combat flows better and is smoother than ever before. Attacks now naturally close the gap to enemies just out of reach, and your combos no longer end when you dodge or parry. Lock-on has also been completely reworked. You can now dodge in any direction while you have a locked-on target, and we've added an optional feature to automatically swap to a new target after a kill. On top of that, we've added new sound and visual effects that make every hit feel more satisfying and combat more visceral. You'll find yourself going through Rin's skill tree faster than before, and that some of the most fun abilities are available earlier in the tree. We want to make sure the combat feels engaging and dynamic from the very beginning, and letting you start making decisions earlier about how Rin's power grows is an important part of that. We've introduced a number of new environmental hazards designed to work in tandem with her and Abram's skills. The heavy attack also received significant upgrades with new effects and utility beyond raw damage. Rin's Drain has been changed too. It can now be triggered whether or not you have a full charge ready, giving you more flexibility in how you manage your resources. Altogether, these changes are designed to make combat feel less like it demands a specific playstyle, and to give you more options in choosing your own approach to encounters. We've also made a lot of improvements to enemies. Animations and timings are more readable and consistent, and their ability to break out of your combos and strike back with an uninterruptible attack has been made a bit more forgiving. Now let's talk about ranged enemies. They didn't quite feel like a balanced part of encounters, and dealing with them first wasn't a benefit, it was an absolute necessity. As a result, we've made several changes. Rin can now block incoming projectiles from the very start of the game, and the ability to parry has been moved to an earlier point in the skill tree. Additionally, their ability to track your movement has been toned down, their damage reduced a bit, and the frequency with which they attack lowered. Along with a number of other improvements, such as input queuing on Rin's abilities, new execution animations, and better controller rumbles, this all works together to drastically improve the feeling of combat, making it flow like we always wanted it to.
So why call it the Enhanced Edition and not just an update? Because this is more than just a patch. It is a complete overhaul of how the game feels and plays, and it's a statement about what kind of studio we ultimately want to be. We want to make sure that the game we put out into the world is the best version of itself. We want to show you that we're listening, and that the feedback that you give us is the most powerful tool we have in making better games. It's about showing that we care about listening to players and about pushing ourselves to do the best that we possibly can. That's what the Enhanced Edition means to us. And it's available right now on Steam, PlayStation 5 and Xbox. So thanks for watching the video and for making this possible. We can't wait for you to experience this yourself.